we have our base year price column. We have our Q1, that is, we have our P1, that is our current year. Then we have another column for P0, Q0. We have our column for P1, Q0. We have our column for P0, Q1, and we have our column for P1 and Q1. We have this column because of the other method we want to use. If we look at the first method, actually we just use Q0 and P1. But because we have other methods, you can see this one is met. You will see. Let's continue. So under the items, we have 4 items. Let's do them. Item A, B, C. We have 4 items. We have 4 items. We have our item A, B, C, and D. So we have the quantity of our item A, 10. Don't have to bother yourself. Then we have another line for our aggregate. Remember, we have aggregate there. So we have this to be 5. Then, if you look at the total of this is 29. So we have the prices there, 250, 180, 200, and no, we have 220, sorry, 220, 250, 220, 250, 180, and 200. All sum up to be 850. So as our U, I will call this aggregate summation. Okay. Then under the Q1, the new year, the current year, I have 12, 8, 7, 9, and total is 36. Then my P1 there for the current is 260, 240, 210, and 205. Then 915. Then if you multiply my P2, P0, Q0 will now be multiplication of this and this. First and second and third column. So it means 8 times 222. So I will have 1760. 10 times 250. I will have 2500. Then 5 times 7. I will have 5 times 180. I will have 900. And 6 times this I will have 1200. And the total now will give me 6360. The same thing here. My P1 Q0. I have P1 and my Q0. So it means 8 times 260. 8 times 260. So I will have this following. That's why I have to specify what I'm using on the top of the column. So here we have 240, next one. Then we have 1050, then 1050, 1050, then you have 230, then the total will give me 6760. So for this from P0 Q1, I have 264.0, then I have 2000 this, I have 1260, I have 1800, then the sum is this. Then lastly, I have 3120, 1920, 1470, 1845, and total will give me 355 days. 355 days. You can see it's very, very easy to do. It's very, very easy to do. Once you are able to get this table right, then other things are very easy. Remember my promise. I said there are other methods. Laspire method, Pache method, Fisher's method. So I'm going to demonstrate using and that's why I have many columns under this table. And remember the title of each of the columns, because I arrived at those titles because of what the other method I wanted to solve. So my first method is to use aggregate price method. Aggregate price method. First method, aggregate price method. Price is index. That's the first method we have treated. And you know, I gave you a formula. I said summation Pn all over summation P naught times 100 over 1. You see, for that aggregate. So I have P1. You see, very easy for me. What is the summation? The addition. So which means summation is 915 over P naught. What is my P naught here? Is 850. 850 then times 100 over 1. And that will give me what? That will give me what? I know that one will give me 107.65%. So which means there is increase of 7% if I use the method. If I use that method. So the second method is Laspire's method. Price index. Laspire price index. And that Laspire is the formula for the Laspire is equals to summation Pn Q naught over summation P naught Q naught. No. So Laspire, you can see you multiply the current here with the base quantity and all over the current here, I mean the base here with the base quantity. Please note the difference is that multiply the current here with the base quantity over the summation of the base quantity times the current quantity. Everything times 100. So we add that to, if you look at that, look at what we have here. You see, I have my year. This is 1 year. PNQ, the total is what? 6. So I have 670 over, what is it? P naught, Q naught. This is my Q naught, Q naught. So I have 6360. Please look at it. I use N here because the comparison we are trying to make is for 1 year. The comparison, we go back to our questions, you will see that what we have, the comparison we make is between 1 year, 2015 and 2016. In a situation whereby the year is more than that, they will give you still, our end will be whatever year you are giving. But in this case, why I put 1 there is because the comparison, supposing it's 2015 and 2018, it means when we have 1 under that subscript of Q and P, it will be what? 3. I hope the question is clear. So, and here times 100. over 1. So if you look at that, you will see that what we have there, we have 106.29%. 106.29%. You can see that just very small differences. 107, 106. I've told you because it has taken care of some things. That is why you can see that little differences there. The gap is not too wide, so we can as well manage it. Remember, this method the method are used by different mathematicians. So, but we always get almost similar things together. I mean, similar or almost very close answer. So, we have seen that of aggregate price index. We've seen that of last fire. Because of our space, let me quickly rub off this to see that of others. Let me rub this to see the others. So the other one is partial method. So method 3, purchase price index. Purchase price index. The same thing. In the summation, in this case it will be Pn Qn over summation of P naught Q naught then times 100 over 1. You can see the difference between them. That of the last fire use P1 and Q naught, but this one is using the current here as the numerator and reverse as the denominator. So we have taken care of that too. So our Pn, this n, which means 1 because it's 1 here. So in that case we have our 8355 over then P naught Q naught. You see P and Q1. This is 7700 times 100 over 1. Remember, I told you the difference between the years is just 1 year. So in this answer, we will have 108.51%. So which means we have 8.51% increment. You can see the first one we have is 106. The second one we have, the first one we have is 107.65. The second one take care of 106.29, and this one is giving us 108. You can see just 1 point something differences. And lastly, the last one, which is features. And it's not difficult. It's not difficult, but I know in the something I call it, if you look at what I gave you, I call it a geometry. The geometry of last fire. I call it the geometry. The geometry. I call it geometry means of last fire and purchase. Geometry means of last fire and purchase. That's the only one that can give us small edit, but not too big edit, because I know with when you relax you can get it right. So I call it geometry. What we mean by geometry? Just take the square root. Take the square root of both what you have find, the last fire and that of the purchase. Take the square root of the two, then you have the result. Are you with me? That is features price index. Fisher's price index is equals to the square root of Laspeyres times that of Pache. You multiply this. That when you multiply the result of Laspeyres that of the Pache, you find the square root. Then you get that of the Fisher. Just we are trying to use the Fisher is trying to reduce the challenges of both Laspeyres and that of Pache. That is why he has to use the geometry to calculate. Then you now multiply everything 100 over 1. Let's quickly see that. So I can write this in terms of our formula. So remember, we have for Laspeyres, we have summation of our P naught Pn over summation of our P naught Q naught. Then just bracket it time under the same umbrella. Then you have summation of our Pn, that is that of our Pache, Pn Qn over summation of our P naught Qn. Then multiply everything over 100 over 1. I hope it's clear. So if you look at it, so this is equals to, when you look at the result of our Laspeyres, we have 106. We have 106.29. Then when we look at the result of our Pache, we have 109. Is it 109 or 108? 108.51. Then I've told you now put bracket, the square root on the 2. Then don't allow the square root to cover the 100%. So you can see. I hope it's clear. You have the square root, the multiplication of Laspeyres. You can see Laspeyres and Pache. Then find the square root, then multiply it 100 by 1. So by the time you do this and find the square root, it will give you 107.89%. You see that it's very, very close. So the analogy between Laspeyres and Pache have been taken care by the Fisher geometry, and that's why we call it geometry. We're supposed to have the same result with that of the simple aggregate, but we are having different results for Laspeyres and Pache. But Fisherman, a good mathematician, now say, okay, we can harmonize these differences by taking the geometry of what we have. And when they take that geometry, you can see we have the same, almost the same thing with that of the simple aggregate. So class, I hope with this you can use this to do the example, the question I gave you as a take home to practice, so that you can have good understanding of what we have been doing. I hope with this you'll be able to, I've been able to convince you, no, but not to confuse, to convince you that mathematics is like Indomie, that our children always take. And with this, I think you can now shift your mind from the post of mathematics is difficult to that post of mathematics is very easy. Have a wonderful day. If you have any question, you can meet me in my office, or we have other interaction. God bless you till other class.